say, well, I didn't realize that you were Hispanic, kind of aspects, but just realize that that's one of those bumps that you hit, and every time you stand up and do that, you break down those myths and stereotypes and say, no, I'm an ally. You know, yes, I've got a wife and kids, but I think it's important we treat all our employees well in the workplace. So the next step I would propose for you is to move into action planning. This is a list of all the possible things, and there's much, much more. That's why we have question marks in the far part of that scale about what you could possibly do. You know, do you have a supplier diversity program? The National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce has a certification program, so you could, in your diversity suppliers, include LGBT. You know, do you do climate surveys? If you're a global company, what are your company's policies outside of the United States and in other states? You know, how do you help with career development, and how do you share your best practices? So there's a lot of things that you can do, and you can't get them all done at one point. But if you say, here's our path forward and here's what we want to work on, we're talking about that aspect of action planning and taking the next steps. And this is just a suggestion that if you sat down with your group of key players or did focus groups, you know, where are we right now? What do our policies and benefits say, and how can we look at everything? The government, 2 years ago, President Obama ordered a top-down review of everything that the government could do that would be within the law to support LGBT relationships. And many of the things you're seeing about passport changes and housing and urban development changes, that you could have LGBT couples that could support their kids, come from that top-down review. And then make sure you make an action plan. Now, a lot of times you go home and you go, yeah, I want to change all this and do this. But who are you going to talk to? What are you going to do? That good action planning. And if your business has a Six Sigma improvement or quality improvement program, this is a great way to take a look at it and review that. These are some of the resources I mentioned today, and they are great depending on which areas you're working at. I'm also available for any questions that come up even after this